are a diverse group of people
from around the world
who have come together for a common purpose.
To defend WikiLeaks.
To ask the United States
to cease its attempts to manufacture a case against
Julian Assange.
And to defend democratic principles and our fundamental rights
guaranteed therein.
Barack Obama, you are a Nobel Peace Prize winner. Act like one.
We are professionals,
homemakers,
activists,
students,
filmmakers,
and others who believe that governments
derive its power from the consent of the governed,
as stipulated
in the Declaration of Independence.
But that citizens can only give meaningful consent
if they're fully informed
about their government's actions.
Nothing more violates American principles
than the idea that government knows best
and has the right to deceive its own people.
Stand up for our democratic rights. Stand up for the idea that we have a right to know the truth.
The WikiLeaks documents have revealed that the US government
has been keeping enormously important information secret from the American people.
Such as the fact that the US government knew of the mass murder of civilians in Iraq, even though it claimed it did not.
That the US government failed its legal responsibility as an occupying power by handing civilians over to Iraqi police units, knowing that they would be tortured and killed.
Even though it claimed it did not.
Far too much for far too long has been carried out in our name with little or no accountability.
I thought as a U.S. citizen I was entitled to freedom of information. I thought that I had the right to know the truth. Is the government now taking this away from me?
Welcome to my home. There's no secrets here. Secrets and lies make for a poor society.
Without knowing what our government is doing, without being told what our government is doing, we're not living in democracy at all.
Democracy is not simply given. Our ancestors had to fight for it, and we have to work for it.
So I call on you, President Obama, to stand up and speak out for the principles you claim your country is founded on.
When the New York Times released the WikiLeaks Afghan logs on July 25th,
its headline read,
"View is bleaker than official portrayal of war in Afghanistan."
This revealed, according to America's newspaper of record,
that the US government was hiding the truth from its own people.
Is it really right that the proud citizens of America
should need WikiLeaks to discover the vital truths denied to them by their own government?
US officials claim they have the right to deceive the American people
and prosecute WikiLeaks and Julian Assange on the grounds of national security.
But this information is clearly known to America's enemies.
It's the American people who is being denied access to it.
Information critical to their ability to make an informed decision
as to whether or not to support their government's war-making,
including putting their sons and daughters
at grave risk of death or crippling injuries.
The US government claimed
that WikiLeaks has endangered national security
has been invalidated by its own Defense Secretary, Robert Gates,
who has stated,
"Is it embarrassing? Yes.
Is it awkward? Yes.
Consequences for US foreign policy?
I think fairly modest.
The German Interior Minister has stated that WikiLeaks is annoying,
but not a threat.
And the BBC has reported
that WikiLeaks, US allies unruffled
by embassy cable leaks.
The result of any US government prosecution of WikiLeaks and Julian Assange
will be to restrict the truthful information
American citizens receive
about their government foreign policy.
But the US cannot promote democracy abroad
by limiting it at home.
We urge you to halt your undemocratic prosecution of WikiLeaks and to instead learn from it.
by providing the public with the honest and truthful information
upon which democracy depends.
Where the people fear the government, we have tyranny. Where the government fear the people, we have liberty.
You can sign on to this letter by going to this website. Please do so. It's really the only decent thing to do.
Yes. get me.